Okay guys, welcome back and continuing on with our Black Series sort of dive. Today we're going to be looking at the Star Wars Black Series Acolyte Padawan Jecki Lon. Sorry about that, I had a tickle in my throat. I do want to apologise. In the past few videos, ever since I started uploading again, I had noticed that the bay window light where I record in overshadows quite a lot of the video, so I apologize again. It's not something that can be helped, unfortunately, given that I have to record here in my window bay on the floor. So I've drawn the curtain a bit to allow some light in here, because I record these during the daytime. So I'm hoping just by drawing one of the curtains, it's fixed the light a little bit. You can still see it, I think, in the corner a little bit, so hopefully it doesn't bother you guys too much. I will look into moving to a new sort of recording area, hopefully soon. But for videos, for now, this is just what I have to work with, unfortunately. So I do apologise again. I hope this is a little bit better. But let's dive into Jecki Lon here. Now, this is a character that I was actually looking forward to, believe it or not. One, because it's Daphne Keane. I've been following Daphne Keane's career ever since she first kind of sort of played X-23 in one of the Wolverine movies. And I know she's been in a couple of things ever since then, but I had not seen her until I think it was a trailer for The Acolyte. And then obviously she came back and played X-23 again in the Deadpool and Wolverine movie. So it's nice to see her branching out into other roles, and I look forward to potentially seeing her in other movie roles and series roles and things like that. But this is her character in the Star Wars universe. So she plays a Padawan. I'm not sure what species she is, but this figure is also very new. One, because it's a new sort of alien species that I don't think we've seen in Star Wars much, at least to my recollection. But also because it's a Padawan size figure, and I don't think we've seen this sort of size of a character, at least I think since Clone Wars Ahsoka. But this is again, these are new bodies, I believe, and I'm hoping that they use this sort of size body for future Jedi Padawans in the line, maybe. But taking a look at the box real quick again, I'm not a packaging guy, but I am trying it for this. So if you guys still want to see packaging and things like that, let me know. I much prefer the format of just diving right into the toy, its features, and if the figure's any good or not. But we'll take a quick look at the bio, and I think these are the same bios throughout, but she is number 3 in the lineup. I'm not doing these in any kind of order, as you can tell. I've just grabbed these and I'm just reviewing them as I go. But it says, at the high end of the Republic era, a former Padawan reunites with a Jedi Master to investigate a series of crimes, but the forces they confront turn out to be far more sinister and personal than anticipated. So yeah, it's the same bio as last time. So I think it's just going to be the same bio throughout all of them. But you get nice artwork of the character on the side there. And then you get more of her doing a some sort of force grip. And the artwork is really nice. I do like the artwork on the new Black Series boxes. I know this sort of style artwork has been going for a while, but these new boxes going forward, where they're more square instead of the ridge side, is a lot better, because then you can actually display the actual mural. But we'll take a quick pause. I'll get her out of the packaging and we will take a look into the figure. Okay, so we now have Jecki out of the packaging, and right away I like how this figure looks. This figure has certainly exceeded some of my expectations in certain areas already, and that's primarily with the face. So let's get right into her face sculpt. Now, the paintwork on this is really good. She has a lot of nice detail in here already, like on the skin pattern here, these little horns, the wash in the hair, and the hairstyle itself. And then obviously, though the likeness doesn't strike Daphne Keane on the figure, I can still see it in a sense. And given that obviously she's wearing heavy makeup and some prosthetic effects on there for the show and whatnot, I'm not going to take that away from the figure because it still looks like the character from what I can tell, even though, yes, the character does look like Daphne Keane because it is. But this figure is really nice and I do like it. It's a shorter buck because obviously she's obviously a bit more of a younger being in the show, probably a teenager or whatever her age species her kind has. But it's obvious that she's still somewhat more of a childlike, similar to Ahsoka Tano. But right away, I like the colour palette of this figure as well. I like the colour palettes of this sort of style that the Acolyte went with the Jedi robes, these nice yellows and creams and beiges and things like that and browns. I think they are quite nice. And with Jecki, she has this shorter, more... It's only baggy because it's sitting a little lower on her brown Jedi Knight robe. But again, I'm probably going to look for a third-party customizer when it comes to these for some wired versions. Just putting her back down there. Again, I think this might be the theme for these sort of robes. When it comes to these Acolyte figures, is that the hoods are all sewn down. Is that because they never pull their hoods up in the series, as far as I can tell? It allows the robes to sit nice and flush on the figure a lot better, but it is a bit weird. And again, even if I was to sort of, I think, yeah, it's only sewn on that one bit there because I can get my finger all the way through. It would just be a case of maybe snipping where the sew line is. The hoods will come up very baggy, and hoods need to be wired to sit decently on these figures. But she does come with this smaller brown robe, as per standard with Star Wars Black Series Jedi figures. But back to the figure. Again, this figure is winning it over for me really nicely. All the details on here are really nice, especially the belt. I'm not sure how well the camera's picking up, but on her belt buckle, there is, I think that's the Republic symbol on there. So it's nice that little details like that get in there. Then all along her belt sashes, there's like these little notches to simulate the actual belt itself, as well as all the other details, and her belt clip and things like that. And it has this green background on it. I don't know if that symbolises anything, like maybe her rank as a Padawan. Kind of like karate in a way, like certain Jedis, if you achieve a certain rank, the undersash changes colour or something like that. Same with your robes or something. Again, I don't know. But really nice detail, even on the hands. Really nice. Standard articulation for Black Series. Ball joint at the head. Again, because of the collar, I think there is one on the neck on the bottom. There is a butterfly joint in there, but because of the way the Jedi sash comes across, you don't get much range. Singular elbow. That seems to be the standard going forward for Black Series. It's now just singular elbow and knee joints. And I think it's the same for the wrist. I don't think it's a ball joint. I think it's the standard peg. I don't think that... there is a little bit of a swivel in there. And ball joint at the waist, though again, because the way the belt sash is, you don't get much for crunch and things like that. Single knee joint, so can't quite go up there. Ball jointed at the leg, at the hip there. And does she have a boot swivel? Yeah, she has a boot swivel and forward facing pin for rocker. So standard articulation, even though she is a smaller buck. In terms of accessories, Jedi don't tend to come with many, other than her lightsaber. Now, I quite like her lightsaber as well. She also uses a green blade, so which I assume her character is more in tune with the Force, even for a padawan. But getting in there, again, right at the tip of where the blade ignites, there's a nice little blue wash in there. So that's really nice. If that's the new standard for lightsabers and whatnot going forward, I think that's really nice. A fairly basic sort of style hilt, but again, this is set in a period of the Jedi's life where materials were different. The lightsabers were probably more simplistic in their designs, a bit more bulky, and then of course it has the pin to store on her belt, and I don't know what hand she normally holds them in, but both her hands are basically the same. But she holds the lightsaber really nicely. But as I said, this figure is winning the wave over so far for me. My favourite is the Stranger, because I think he comes with a lot more features, and I like dark side characters when it comes to Star Wars more. But in terms of a figure compared to the last one, which would have been Master Indara, this one is miles better, in my opinion. The issue with the robe not rubbing off onto the actual robes is not present here, at least as far as I've seen. So whether it's just an issue with Indara, at least on my copy, if you saw my last video, I pointed that out. But it's not present on here. Whether it'll be present on the final two figures, which will be Yord and Soul, is yet to be seen when we unbox those, so look forward to those videos. But what do you think of Jecki here? Is she your favourite? Is there anyone else from this series in this line that is your favourite? Leave a comment down in the comment section below, and whilst you're at it, smash that like button as well as the subscribe and hit the bell notification for future videos. And as always, I will see you in the next video.